Jeffrey Epstein was born in 1953 in Brooklyn, New York, into a middle-class family. He was academically sharp, especially in mathematics, but he never completed a university degree. For a brief period, he worked as a school teacher. However, teaching was never where his ambitions truly lay. What Epstein possessed was an unusual ability to gain trust, build connections, and place himself in the right circles. Through personal relationships rather than formal qualifications, Epstein entered the financial world. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, he was presenting himself as a financial consultant to extremely wealthy individuals. Even at that stage, people around him found it strange how easily he gained access to powerful figures. There was never a clear explanation for how someone with such a limited professional background moved so quickly into elite financial circles. By the 1990s, Epstein was living an extraordinarily luxurious life. He owned a massive mansion in Manhattan, a grand estate in Palm Beach, a large ranch in New Mexico, a residence in Paris, private jets, and later a private island. His lifestyle matched that of billionaires, yet there were no transparent business records to explain his wealth. His firm had almost no public presence, very few employees, and no clear list of clients. This led many investigators to a disturbing conclusion. Epstein's true business was not managing money. His real value was access. He introduced powerful people to one another, facilitated private meetings, and moved comfortably between worlds of politics, finance, and influence. Over time, it became clear that information and secrets were more valuable to him than cash. The most infamous symbol of Epstein's power was his private island, Little St. James, located in the US Virgin Islands. From the outside, it looked like a tropical paradise, white beaches, clear blue water, and total isolation. But that isolation was deliberate. Only approved guests were allowed to visit. Security was tight, boats were kept away, and no one entered without Epstein's permission. The island contained multiple luxury structures, including a main residence, guest villas, pools, lounges, and a mysterious domed building whose purpose was never officially explained. According to court documents and witness testimonies, hidden cameras were installed not only on the island, but also in Epstein's other properties. This transformed the island into something far more sinister than a vacation retreat. It became a place where activities were secretly recorded, turning privacy into leverage. Beginning in the early 1990s, Epstein started abusing underage girls. The pattern was consistent and calculated. Young girls were approached with promises of money, modeling opportunities, or simple work. Once inside Epstein's homes, they were groomed, manipulated, and exploited. Survivors later described a system designed to confuse, pressure, and silence them.
I told him I did not want to do that, and then he gave me an ultimatum. Either you come here and massage me when I call you, or you bring me friends of yours to massage, and I will give you $200 per girl for each time she comes. I felt and hoped to never hear from him again, but he called me every day. He was so wealthy and powerful, and he would not let me go. I felt I had no choice. If I disobeyed him, I knew something bad would happen. So knowing I did not want to be sexually abused, I started to bring him other girls from my high school, and he paid me $200 for bringing them. I just hoped each time it would be the last time.
How did you meet Epstein?
I was 22, and I am the earliest publicly known survivor. I was raped by Jeffrey Epstein in 1991. Back in 1991, in the US, as I understood it, rape was determined by how much you resisted. And because I froze in that moment and then proceeded to blame myself because I froze, I thought, well, nobody's gonna believe me.
Epstein did not act alone. He had close associates who helped recruit victims, manage schedules, and maintain secrecy. Victims reported being controlled through fear, financial pressure, and psychological manipulation. This was not random behavior. It was organized and deliberate. The first known police report was filed in 1996. Despite the seriousness of the allegations, nothing came of it. Over the years, more complaints were made, yet investigations were delayed, weakened, or quietly closed. Epstein's wealth and connections repeatedly protected him from consequences. In 2005, police received a complaint involving a 14-year-old girl. This time, investigators uncovered multiple victims. The scale of the abuse became undeniable. However, in 2008, Epstein received a plea deal that shocked legal experts. Instead of facing serious federal charges, he served a short sentence under unusually lenient conditions. Many victims were never informed that this deal even existed. After his release, Epstein returned to his luxurious lifestyle. His private jets continued to fly. His island remained active. His social circle stayed powerful. Flight records later showed that many influential individuals traveled with him. While association alone did not prove criminal activity, it confirmed how deeply embedded Epstein was within elite networks. Years later, investigative journalists reopened the case. Their reporting exposed how the justice system had failed victims for decades. Public outrage grew rapidly. In July 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was arrested again, this time on federal charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy. For the first time, it appeared that a full trial might finally reveal the truth. That trial never happened. In August 2019, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. Authorities ruled it a suicide, but the circumstances raised serious questions. Cameras were not functioning properly. Guards were absent. Standard procedures were not followed. Many believed that Epstein took critical secrets with him to the grave. Millions of documents were seized, including emails, contact lists, flight records, and legal files. Only a portion has been released to the public. Much remains sealed or missing. What those documents revealed was not just the crimes of one man, but a system that protected power and ignored victims. Jeffrey Epstein was not merely a criminal. He was a connector, a gatekeeper, and a man who understood that secrets can control even the most powerful people. His island, his wealth, and his lifestyle were not symbols of success. They were tools of influence. This story is not only about Jeffrey Epstein. It is about how power hides wrongdoing, how systems fail the vulnerable, and how truth can be delayed for years. And even today, one question still remains unanswered. How many secrets disappeared with him?